Um, Last week we did this whole new thing where we took 15 minutes to cover something very specific, a topic, and I think that got a lot of interaction. And we just Chris and I decided we'll just roll with that, and we'll have a theme for this week as well, plus 15 minutes. And today's theme is AI and agents, how we build and run agents. So obviously, there's a lot of conversation in LinkedIn, in workspaces, in your offices about AI and how to deploy AI, how to do it in a meaningful way, in an intentional way. A lot of times we hear from our clients that they're a bit scared, credits don't make sense. They don't understand how to have an agent that actually a works, brings value, and also doesn't you know send a huge invoice to the finance team when you go over the credits. So guardrails first, we're going to talk about how to have your AI credit settings set up so that if you're an admin of your portal, if you are doing things with AI, just making sure that you don't accidentally charge the company a shit ton of credits, because that can be a downfall in for adoption, because the moment the company will see that you spent like £1,000 on AI credits
Mhm.
and they don't see value of it, there's going to be a whole conversation. And then I'm going to go through a few updates that we put together on like some of the cool things that are happening with Breeze and AI in general. Yes, Julie, very, very timely and perfect. And then Chris is going to go through some of his AI agents that he has built. And we're going to show you that it's actually much simpler to build them than we think.
Then we're
So
going to
let's
try
get
and cram
started.
in some product updates as well. So
Yes.
buckle up, I think, is the correct expression.
So the first thing is with the credits, whenever I'm in my main portal, don't tell our company that, bad, naughty, but if you go into your portal, you'll have this HubSpot credits option, and when you click it, you will come into this page, and this page is the most vital thing before you go into your AI ventures, because this is where you set your credits. So through your subscription, you get a decent amount of credits. I think 5,000 is the starting point, and then you can add more credits. And sometimes when you're on enterprise, it gives you different levels of credits. So it will tell you on the left what your monthly credits are, and then you can set a limit for yourself. So I've put it as 37,000, but if you are a bit more scared, you can put it at 30,000 or 35,000 or 36,000. So what this means is when you put this credit, whenever you're using different AI agents or doing different AI actions that use credits, the moment it reaches that monthly credit threshold, it stops. It won't continue that action until the next month or until the next credit reset. So that way you are making sure that if you have enrolled, let's say, 1,000 people in the prospecting agent, and your credit would go over, because that would take about 5,000, and let's 6,000 or something, and you're at 5,000, it stops at 5,000 and it doesn't enroll the rest of the people. And that's where like this is really useful, because you manage your credit and you make sure that no one's overusing or going into um, credits that you don't have. The second bit is overage, I don't know how to say this word, but overage settings.
All right, yeah.
Um,
It's a strange choice of word, but
yeah, I don't like the word. It makes me feel
mm,
weird. But this, you want to keep it as pay as you go. So there's an auto upgrade, which I think by default you're put on auto upgrade. So go to your settings
mm,
and check this and put it as pay as you go. And what the difference is auto upgrade, the moment you go above your credit. So let's say you're not putting a maximum monthly credit. So some people like doing that because this is a failback anyway, where if you are using your maximum credits and let's say you run an action that might put you over, what auto upgrade does is it automatically gives you 1,000 extra credit and invoices you for it. And it keeps doing that 1,000 increment, and that keeps getting added to your plan. So it's not something that you can back out of next month. So if your plan is at 5,000 and you've auto upgraded to 6,000, that stays for the rest of your plan. Pay as you go, on the other hand, it caps it. So the moment you reach 5,000, it stops. So similar to what you do with this monthly maximum monthly credit. And then you can pay and upgrade your credit for, let's say, that month, and you can use prospecting agent or whatever you need that extra credits for, but it doesn't happen for the next month. So it's again pay as you go. And then to quickly go down here, you'll see a lot of these graphs of like your monthly credits used, overage usage, total bill usage, etc. But the most interesting bit is it then breaks it down by what agent or what feature is using the credits. So you can see we have prospecting agent using 5,800, we have some customer agent, we have some data agent. But on top of that, you can go into these individually and set your credits, which is a mind which is a game changer for me, because here I can come in and I'll be like, okay, I want to set a limit not only of the credits per month, but on whatever they charge the credit for. So for customer agent, it charges based on conversations resolved per month. So I can be like, I want the customer agent to only talk to 100 conversations, and I can put that credit limit here, so it won't charge me for, or it won't even run the action for more than 100. Similarly, with content agent, I can come in here and set a limit of long form pieces created per month. So I'm like, I only want 5 blog posts, and I can put that limit here. And then obviously you can also put a credit limit. So if you have 5,000 and you want to break that down into 500 and 1,000 and 1,000, you can really go granular into how you want to manage your credits. So this might seem a little intimidating at first to set it up. So I usually suggest you start with the maximum monthly credit, set up the overage settings, and then see what your usage is for 1 month. See how much credit you're using on an average. And then the next month, go in and put those credit limits in. And then when someone goes over, get notified, and you know, okay, maybe we need to adjust those limits a bit. Now, now that we have gone through the whole guardrails of AI credits, let's talk about some interesting things that are happening in the world of AI. So, if you haven't seen this bit under marketing, there's now this brand section. We've spoken about this in a few product updates before. And what this is essentially your guide for your brand for the AI. So, what AI can do here is look through your logos, your colors, your fonts, your theme, and this is set up with your CMS as well. So if you have a website running, this all links together. Your email content, all of this links together. But then on top of that, what AI does is what Breeze does is there's things like this brand voice and brand knowledge, where you can come in here and put a ton of information about your company, and AI will learn from that, and it will then put that information in content it's generating, customer agent that it's talking. Like, it will adopt the brand voice, the brand knowledge, and it will apply that in its work that you make the agent do. And a cool thing here under brand voice you'll see is add writing samples as well. So let's say you've added the brand voice and you've told AI like, this is how I want to do XYZ, but then when you come in to add writing samples, you can actually add different, you can paste different text, you can add different files to tell the AI agent, the content agent, how exactly to write for your brand. So it's just giving it more context. The more context you give it, the better the content it generates. So similarly, there's an AI context as well under Breeze context, which I would recommend that the marketing and the sales team get together, go through it, fill it out as much as possible, because this context can then be brought over when you are performing any action on these AI agents. And then finally, I want to take a look at this cool feature of creating an email through Breeze. So I've come into this contact record called John Doe, and I've asked it, help me write an email to John Doe telling him that we've identified him as a key investor and would like to schedule a call. And then it creates a draft for me. And I love the way it's visualized, because it's like this really separate thing, and you can edit it in Canvas. And then you can also send the email directly. So after you've edited it, you can just click on send email or you can copy it, or you can schedule it for later. So it's like bringing that email functionality into the Breeze assistant, so you don't have to worry about copying the email, copying the subject line, copying the things over. It just does it for you. And then one more final thing I want to talk about is the workflows filing agent. Under account cleanup, you have this thing called this workflow filing agent. Sorry, just getting a Slack call in the middle of all this.
Mm.
Um, you have a workflow filing agent, and there's this little button here, analyze unfiled workflows. So what Breeze does is it goes through all of your unfiled workflows, and then it
Do
tells
it.
you.
Do it. Do it.
Unfortunately, I can't, because all my
Oh,
workflows are all filed. And if I run it again as well, it does the same thing. I don't know why. It's a bit harder to demo, but it is a cool thing to do. So whoever's done it on our portal, I'm really annoyed that I didn't
mm,
get to do it.
yeah.
Um,
I wanted to do
and
this live today. But,
but it's
audit log.
already done. But I can show you. So under workflows now, we have these really weird folders: Marek testing, MRR testing, THX testing, and these are all stuff that the Breeze AI assistant has gone in and folded all of these workflows and created these folders for you. So again, a super, super cool tool for cleanup, and everyone has like 500 workflows in their portal. So just making sure everything's in the right folder. Okay, I'm going to give it over to Chris to show some of his agents and go through that. I'm going to stop sharing.
Chris is
Over
just
to
going to
you.
rapidly come out of the audit log where he's trying to find out who messed around. Um, okay, right. So we're going to go reasonably. We're actually not taking up too much time. It's really good to have those sort of safety rails in place, because it also means you get a chance to play around with these. It's also worth mentioning, I think, that um, custom agents, if you have access to them, all the agents are still in beta until the 23rd of July, which gives you 9 days if you want to build one and try one, just because it's worth doing, I think, just because it's there. And it's surprisingly easy to just build a very basic agent. So just as an example, I actually went completely crazy and built
A little
some
bit crazy.
sales qualification. As someone who's got a background in sales, I love this whole concept. And I've sat through so many sales meetings where people, well, yeah, it's this, that, the other. So I've created a whole bunch of agents that do sales qualifications. So we'll look at Medic here, for example, and essentially I've got a deal here, and I've actually seeded it. If I get rid of some of the activities, I've kind of seeded it with notes that say, discovery, alignment, etc., etc. And I've run my Medic agent, and it's come out with a verdict, so 6.5 out of 10. It's given me a scorecard, buyer, pain implication, champion, decision process, etc. And then down at the bottom, it's giving me signals. What's it pulled out? There's a contradiction. There are some blind spots. What happens if Sarah leaves? That could be a problem. Next questions. So we're actually coaching the sales team through some of this, recommended actions, and it's also going to tell me, what I should be doing here. So really quite powerful. And I've just refresh it. I've also just run goals, plans, challenges, consequences, and implications, and it's also given me. This is a different agent, but it's giving me, notice, the exact same confidence that this deal is likely to close based on the evidence. So slightly simpler methodology. Building these, and this is a med pick one. So all I've done really is I've kind of spent a bit of time with Gemini building the prompt out, because building a prompt for AI using AI is quite helpful. So you can see here, right, I've given it a role. I've told it what it's supposed to do, inputs, evidence. I've given it all sorts of useful pieces of information. has the ability to create a note. It can read CRM records, and there's also some things it's asking for. And I've also added some knowledge. So I've created a knowledge vault with medic qualification details and information. And the input being the deal record and the ability to add extra context. And so what you end up with this, like I say, this is fairly basic because we're not writing to properties. This is something you could probably put together today. Just use the HubSpot knowledge base. You can use Breeze to help you do it, or get in touch with your BQ person if you're working with us and say, I need a sales qualification agent. This will revolutionize sales meetings, and you can have fun like putting silly pictures in here. So there are lots and lots of things that you can do. What other agents have we got? And that's my inbox. It's like a free studio and my agents. I've got a call integrity agent, which I'm still slightly battling with. But what that does is it reviews titles of calls and meetings. If the title is missing or it doesn't make sense, it will then review the context and the data attached, update the title, update the meeting outcome so that we've got solid reporting. I'm just starting on Miller Hyman sales process. We've got TQRDC and partnership qualification. You can see I'm going on a certain theme, but I think the key is that you've got a few days to kind of play around with some of these and build out some agents, and I think it's often quite good to have a bit of an idea of what you can possibly do before we start. So hopefully that's useful. Maybe a little bit inspirational, and somebody's going to build out an agent, because I think the key thing for me at the moment is these credits come as part of your subscription, and I keep seeing credits come and go, and it's this hard thing where we don't want to lose them, but then we will lose them. So build an agent. Okay, we now have 12 minutes to do some product updates. So the first thing that we've got is notifications that find the right record. And this is something I was struggling to demonstrate, so I had to build a workflow that shows how it works. But this is basically that thing where you'd send someone a notification, and you'd usually have to kind of it a little bit by scooping up the link to the records, scooping up the record number from the URL and adding them. But now we've got this new form of notification. We know where it comes from. I don't know whether that's me that's typed view at HubSpot. Just don't like that. I would go with probably view in HubSpot, but quite a lot
Yeah.
nicer. Takes you straight to the record. So we like that, don't we? We then have, can't really show this one because I'm not on Instagram because I'm that old and crusty. Instagram collaborator tagging is going to be available in HubSpot social tools. And it's basically so posts can credit co-authors directly from the composer. I don't know, Shalini, as a representative of the younger generation that use these things, have you anything to extol or talk about there?
It's mostly for if you're running any brand partnerships or maybe collaborating with other brands or other influencers and stuff, so you can tag them.
Nice. So actually, yeah, quite a nice, useful thing. We then have view and edit modes for lead scoring. And this, as with a lot of things in HubSpot, it takes a little bit of time to find some of these things now. They kind of move things around. But what they're actually talking, they've added this, the name of it's not quite that useful, but they've added this expand and collapse. So when I'm doing lead scoring, I can just look and see add interactions, 3 points, open email, click link in email. So I've got this nice overview. If I want to edit it, then I can expand it, and I can see all of the things that have been put together here, and I can do go into my advanced options. I can do my editing and make changes. So just a little one, but it's quite nice. I don't know if any of you have spent lots of time building out lead scoring. It can get quite complex. So that one hopefully will improve things a little bit. Companies and leads can be added to a campaign. This is something that previously we couldn't do. And I was kind of thinking, okay, where are we going to look for it? And actually, this is one of those ones where if you look for it in the right place, I've just selected a company and I can actually now go add to a campaign and I can associate it. And the same, we go to our and leads and table view. Should be able to scoop up a lead, and here it's even easier. And I think that's again for those of you that are using campaigns, it suddenly makes why leads you couldn't retrospectively add them to campaigns before. We don't know, but it's just a nice thing to add.
I would think probably if you're running ABM campaigns, it might be useful to add companies and leads and then track their journey. So if they do end up in a close one deal, you get revenue attribution much better, I guess. Not sure how
Yeah,
different it would be, but yeah.
I suppose I'm thinking I'm trying to solve for this one now, but I'm thinking maybe your company would be part of the campaign.
Hmm.
Could you then have you got create dates or time added fields so you can see over time leads becoming or people contacts getting leads attached or becoming leads, and then you can start to work out how impactful that campaign might be. But I think you're absolutely spot on there. That sort of ABM type of campaign, it really lends itself well to.
Yep.
Right, what else have we got for you? And this is team email signature improvements. So this is actually for sort of inboxes and also for sending one-to-one emails. But you've got the ability now to kind of this is if you can see this is in settings and inboxes and channels. Choose your channel, and we do a config. But we now have the ability to do interesting things with signatures and kind of customize, use the defaults, add my forwarding. I can also then create that HTML team signature, or I can just have my little cat in a hat, which somebody created a long time ago. The nice thing about these is you can also access, I believe you can access these signatures from if you're sending a one-to-one email, or if you're sending an email from a contact or a company record, then you can access these signatures as well. And look at that. It's turned it into HTML as well, which is quite nice
Wow.
because well, it means that you could seem like you're very clever by creating your own signature secretly in here. Keep up the HTML, send it to your colleagues, tell them where they need to put their name, email address, telephone number, and then you've suddenly got email addresses that can be rolled out across your portal. So that is
Yep.
a new HubSpot hack that we've just discovered
It
live
just
today.
looks so much nicer than the previous one where
Yeah,
it did give you the HTML, but the what you pasted would be all crushed together and it was all weird. So you had to create the HTML and paste it. But this is much better where you can just create it and gives it good HTML.
very nice. Customer events on the record timeline. So this is, I suppose, this is a bit nerdier. Perhaps we're going a bit deeper, but this is really good for. And this is a custom event setup. But this is really good for making things appear on the contact record. So if there's a really significant thing that they might take on your website or something that might happen, then we can make sure that that's on the timeline. And to get to it, we go into a custom event, and you've got your event details, link to an object, you can enrich, but then customize timeline. So it's quite easy to find. Event. There you
That's
go.
okay.
But I don't. I quite like it. I am trying to. I actually have a job later on today to go quite a lot deeper into this for a client. But it's quite a nice thing if you can kind of almost think outside the box. Do we want to? Are there simple HubSpot things that we could perhaps create custom events for stamps on the timeline? We can typically do things like that with workflows and notes to put things on the timeline, but is this more useful? So yes, have a look at your custom events and adding them to the timeline. Okay, personally.
Oh, this
All right.
one's, I still don't have it.
Okay, so I'm going to caveat this because I'm in about 70 HubSpot portals, and I've only got access to this in one. And this is my this is one of my test portals. I've got a series of test portals. Um, but here is navigation. So I've got my contacts, I've got segments, marketing emails. And if I want more, I can go to this section. I can also manage the navigation. Now, it's my firm belief that this is going to come to us at some point from an admin point of view, so that we can basically decide what we want our team to see. So it might be that don't want people to see some of these, in which case you'll see we've got this
Oh,
lovely
it
colourful
looks so good.
navigation. And move that slightly in pencil. We've got the expansion. Incidentally, top tip: when people are getting started for the first time, get them to have this open all the time. Um, I think this is being played around with at the moment. I think it's going to get a lot better, and I think we're going to be able to add it from an admin perspective. So have a look, wait for that. But at the moment, we can't help you get it. So
It's so exciting to see that it's coming because once they moved to the sidebar navigation, I was always like, where do I find things? And it's so hard in training as well to be like, click this, then hover over, then find this. So it's just so much nicer to be able to just tell them, hey, you can pin things. Yeah,
I think
exactly, Julie. That looks much better to customize.
in the yeah the thing the thing is, where can we yeah, so we can kind of add things, so we can make sure accounts get their invoices and payment links there. I love this.
Yeah.
I think it's really, really nice, but I suspect probably it's going to be in unbound
Unbound.
when it's released.
Yep.
And finally, we are on our more cleanup automation for unused website and landing pages. This is again this is that sort of leap of faith. Do you want to be getting rid of unused website landing pages? Anyway, they're all in here. They're right. As with everything, has anyone actually used the cleanup features yet? I bet you there's tumbleweed, because they're actually quite scary. Um, that I suppose that's it for this week. I'd say, is anyone gonna go out and build an agent? That's what we'd love to see. And if you
Yeah.
are, send us a video. Let us know how you get on.
And if you have any ideas for agents as well, we might not have a fully fleshed agent thought out, but if you have even ideas, we would love to hear them. Like message us on LinkedIn or if you have our emails. I think I am really getting nerdy because we've been working in the company as well, trying to get a lot of these cool agents built, and my brain is just like, oh, there's so many different ideas. So yeah, let us know if you have any of those. And we're at time. We didn't
We're
go
at
over.
time. We managed to stay
I
to
am very proud
time.
of us.
Right. Thank you, everybody. We will see you. I think when the next one, the marketing team will tell you when the next one is because we got a bit out of
It
sync.
should be on the 22nd of July. Also, we have an AI workshop tomorrow in London. If you are in or around London and interested in building I am running this session on customer agent. There's prospecting agent, there's data agent. We are actually going to be in a table building things together. If you find that useful, join us.
Oh, there
I'll
we go. We've
see you
got a few people
tomorrow.
going. Alas, I won't be there. But you've got plenty of clever people to help you with your agents. Okay, we'll see you
Okay.
on the 22nd then.
See you.